It's time to focus on the things you need, the things you deserve. You deserve a healthy body, supplements that get you moving and keep you moving, that make you feel good, look good, do good. And they shouldn't contain GMOs, artificial ingredients, or heavy metals, ever. Supplements that are clinically studied, use proven absorption technologies, are designed by scientists, and are ethically sourced and produced. Supplements with everything you need, nothing you don't. You deserve a company that you can trust, that's dedicated to safe manufacturing practices and third-party testing, that ensures the highest quality of effectiveness from extraction of ingredients all the way to the composition of the packaging. Wait a second. You deserve to see the process. You deserve a company led by a CEO with a deep belief in the power of people, dedicated to inspiring entrepreneurs to achieve success. A company with a phytonutrient chemist and expert on natural molecules who is obsessed with human health and has your best interest in mind to design its products. A board comprised of talented doctors from around the world. You deserve to be surrounded by people you trust and look up to. Empowered ambassadors that inspire wellness every day. Leaders who are rooting for you to be the best version of yourself. A community that works hard and plays hard. You deserve to experience adventures that take you around the world. And you deserve to be recognized for your hard work. It's time to get what you deserve. It's time to shift your focus. 3.
Hello, 3 friends and family. My name is Dr. Tammy Watkins, and I am so excited to be with you here today as we talk about the art of following up and really the power that comes with following up with people that you have already initiated some sort of conversation or connection with about 3. A little bit about me. I am a pediatric and prenatal chiropractor based in the state of Iowa, right in the center of the United States. I've been practicing for 20 years this year and have always included a lot of nutrition. Eating healthy, making healthy choices has always been a really important part of our family. I'm a mom to 4. We homeschool. My husband is also in the proactive and health space. And so we have used supplements for a very long time. And one of my friends and colleagues, Dr. Alicia Clevenger, who many of you know well, introduced me to 3. I was intrigued because I knew she had such a high bar for nutrition, but at the same time was just feeling a bit overwhelmed with life. Like I was so busy. We had what I thought were really great supplements on the shelf at our clinics, and I just wasn't ready. It wasn't the right time. And so as time went on, Dr. Alicia was so kind to continue to gently follow up with me, and I saw the changes physically in her and in friends who started to use 3's products. And I went to an event and I learned more about the science of 3, what makes 3 different than the really high grade supplements we had been using in our clinic. And then it made sense why I was seeing the changes I was seeing in Dr. Alicia and in friends and in patients that had started to use 3. When I learned the research that had been done, the quality sourcing, that they were all whole foods, I was all in. I started using the products with my family, with our trickiest patients, saw some very remarkable changes. Patients that had been stuck for a while. Like I mentioned, I myself had been making healthy choices. I had been taking supplements for quite a while before I started 3, but I'd never felt such a difference. And the same thing happened with patients. I had young moms playing with their children for the first time. They had been limited due to pain, women traveling with their family who had been very nervous to take a trip very far from home prior because of some pretty significant digestive issues. Those things were healing. Those symptoms were settling. Lives were changing. And I just am so excited to be a part of this platform, to get to share this gift that we have, something that allows people to feel better, to find new purpose, to start dreaming again. That's incredible. When I sit across the table from a mom who's wondering what is next for her, her kids are getting older. She's just trying to figure out, who am I now? What does that look like? And this becomes an opportunity for them to grow professionally, even more so personally, the mindset aspect that comes with it. It's been such a great opportunity to share health with people on a broader spectrum. And I'm so excited to be able to spend some time with you today talking about following up with people. So let's talk about the power of the follow up. Before you're following up with somebody, you've already initiated your connection with them. And so what came first? You've already created a list of ideally your top 100 people, certainly the top 10 people you want to reach out to first that you're really excited about doing life with, who you know are looking for something more in life, whether that's more time, more financial freedom, better health outcomes, more community, more purpose. You've made a connection with them. And that connection can be when you initially just meet somebody at a restaurant or at a mom group, out at a networking event, just day-to-day activity that you're doing. If you've met somebody for the first time there and shared with each other, exchange what you do, what you're passionate about, that could have been your first approach with somebody, your first connection. Or you've met somebody you previously knew at a coffee shop, or you end up at the same ball game and you get to share that you're doing something really new, something exciting that you can't wait to share with people out there. So maybe that might be your first connection. Maybe you've made a phone call to a friend, a family member, a colleague, somebody that's come to mind. You've sent a text to somebody or even messaged somebody through social media. Those all can be first contacts. I would absolutely recommend, whenever possible, that you're able to talk to somebody in person. Phone call is going to be a great option, even better when you're together. When people can see and feel and hear the energy and excitement in your voice, they're so much more likely to be bought in earlier. They see in you the excitement and they get to borrow some of your belief until they get to have the incredible experiences that 3 in this platform can give to them. You've also shared a tool with them, most likely at this point, whether that is you've shared your story, your why, after you've talked to them about where they're at with life, maybe what some of their pain points are, some of the things they're looking for, some of the things they're struggling with. You've maybe given them a sample. I love carrying samples around with me. Vitality is really easy to share. Eternal, collagen, now our new kinetic drink. Fantastic opportunities to be able to share 3 with people in a really easy way. And I'm really careful when I hand those out. I'm talking about why I love them. The curation of being able to take 8 to 9 bottles is what Vitality replaced for patients for us. So explaining the ease of being able to take multiple things in one packet with Vitality and the power that's in there, the amazing taste of Eternal, the incredible benefits and the collagen cycling of the collagen. So I've shared some benefits of what the product is that I'm giving to them. That can be a tool. Maybe you've shared a video, a short clip with them, something about a specific product, maybe that is in relationship to something they were saying was a pain point or something that was bothering them. Or maybe you've been at an event together. Maybe that first connection is you've invited them to come join you to learn more about something that you are excited about and that you're learning more about along the way. And then you've also hopefully had a call to action with them. Will you watch this movie, or would you have time in the next 24 to 48 hours to watch this and then let me know what you think? Would love for you to write down any questions, anything that stands out to you. So maybe that tool or that call to action has been to watch a video. Maybe it was attending the event with you, or it's asking them to try the sample that you've sent home with them. A lot of times they need that extra gentle reminder that they are trying what you've handed them. And those are really those first initial steps that then lead us into the follow-up. You've piqued their interest, hopefully, potentially. You've connected with them on some level. And now the follow-through is what needs to happen. Remember, the fortune truly is in the follow-up. This is really all about building relationships, not pressuring people, trying to understand more what struggles they may have, some things that they're trying to solve for in their life, asking them the deeper details about that. I know you had mentioned XYZ, and then following through on that. What have you tried? What have you noticed with that? What have been some stumbling blocks previously? Getting to really understand them and their story. And then you're going to want to ask permission at that point to be able to follow up with them. Once you hand them that tool or send them that video, to say things like, would it be okay if I follow up with you tomorrow? Are you open to me calling you tomorrow during your lunch break to see what you really enjoyed about that video? Do you have any questions about the ingredients of the samples that I just sent you? I've got a really great video from our chief formulator that I can send over that explains it in a really fun, easy to understand, but incredible way to make a difference of why this is very different than something they're potentially already taking or they've been considering taking. Or as simple as, it was great to see you at the event last night. What stood out to you the most? But these are some general questions that can start that follow-up initiation from whatever that initial tool consultation that you had. Important statistics for you to remember. Do not be discouraged by the follow-up. It's such a critical step, but also one of the most intimidating and sometimes frustrating steps in this process of sharing the gift of three. And so something you need to remember is that 80% of sales happen after the 5th to 12th contact. So that means it's not often that people are going to be saying yes right away. They're not going to always be, you're not potentially going to have a really high conversion of people that you've talked to just one time or that have attended just one event or they've tried just one sample. It's not uncommon that it takes multiple exposures, multiple connections, because we are confronting people who have hesitation. So they may have hesitation about the timing. They may wonder about the validity of this platform and need to know more about the company and why we're different as a company. It may be a belief issue for them. Maybe they haven't heard a testimonial yet that really relates to them, that they can find a connection to personally for them or for somebody in their family, somebody they care about, a friend or a neighbor. So keep that in your mind that most people are stopping after 1 to 2 attempts of following up with somebody. And when we know that the majority of people need at least 5 to 7 to 12 different contact points in order to say yes, then we're really missing out on some really great opportunities for people to experience the benefits of three. I'm one of those stories. Like I mentioned, when Dr. Alicia first mentioned three to me, I was hesitant. It wasn't the right timing. I was busy. I didn't know enough. I didn't understand the model and had some preconceived misunderstandings about this space. And once I had more gentle introductions, more information, once I saw people changing, literally their skin was brighter, they were running for the first time in years because they weren't having the pain that they'd been trying to find a solution to for so long, I couldn't help but have my interest piqued even more each time. And then it was the moment that I heard the science. I just hadn't heard the thing that I needed to hear of why these were so different. And so I just want to really encourage you to not give up after the first time. Go ahead and keep encouraging, keep nurturing, again, not pestering, but working on that relationship with them, certainly asking about their family, other things they have going on, that this isn't your only checkpoint, checking in with them, but be very, very intentional to keep these statistics in mind because they really matter, especially when you're getting really discouraged. Timing tips, something to consider when you are following up with somebody, that 24 to 48 hours after the initial contact. So after you've given them the sample, after you've sent them a video, after you've maybe sent them some information for them to look over, when you have been at an event together, that's a really good time frame or window to follow up and ask the questions that we had mentioned earlier. What did you think? What questions do you have? The 3 to 5 days is a window to consider if you don't get a response. So maybe you've already sent them a message saying, Hey, it was so great to see you yesterday. I can't wait for you to try our new kinetic. What did you think about it? Anything that stood out? If you've gotten no response, using that 3 to 5 day window as a guideline for following up and just doing a very gentle check-in and reoffering to help of, hey, I know you mentioned you were struggling with some energy and that you tried other caffeine drinks, but you didn't understand how harmful some of those ingredients could be. And you were excited about the ingredients that were in Kinetic and what you may experience with that. Would love to have you try it and let me know what you think. If it's okay with you, I'm going to check in tomorrow and see where you're at. Monthly is a great reminder for follow-ups. Also are for people who maybe have tried 1 or 2 products. Maybe they're not set up on SmartShip yet and they aren't aware or they haven't seen the value or the benefit of having that yet. So many people will say, they've run out of something. And that's really when they go into panic mode of, oh my goodness, I feel the difference when I take them. And I absolutely feel the difference when I don't take my supplements. And so getting some sort of routine, and we'll talk about that too, about having a monthly follow-up or a monthly check-in with people to add value. This is, again, not a hard sell. You're not trying to push anything. You're asking, how are you doing? What, anything new that's happening, anything new that you're trying to find a solution for. Maybe in the meantime, they've picked up a new activity. They've played basketball with their friends and they're sore, and you can have a conversation with them about Revive. Or they are looking for a new collagen. Maybe they are wanting to now try something else. They wanted to start with one thing, and this is a great opportunity to remind them about the system that we have and why the system works so well, why it's such a great proactive opportunity for people to, when we're looking at preventing disease and longevity and health, why we have the system that we have for health. But monthly is a really great cadence to talk with people, following up of if they've tried something at an event, and even more so if they've ordered. Here's some examples of what to say. I feel like sometimes people just need a little bit of encouragement of, they understand the importance of follow-up, but aren't quite sure what to say in one situation. So here are some examples that I came up with of things you may want to use. Certainly tweak them, add to them, personalize them as much as you can. But some examples of things to say in follow-up can be, hey, I just wanted to circle back. I thought about you today because somebody else was just mentioning that they also started a new basketball league and their elbow had been bothering them. I know for you it was your knee, but just wanted to check in and see if you've either tried that Revive or if that was something that you were still interested in giving a go. Something else you may consider is, hey, Sarah, I know life gets busy for moms for in this stage. I feel like the new answer to how are you doing, the new common answer is busy. Everybody's busy. So acknowledging that. Hey, Sarah, I know life gets busy. Just wanting to check in. Did you get a chance to look at that video I sent you yesterday? Love to see if you had any questions and what stood out. Something you might also say is, hey, what'd you think of how easy it was to take the sample? I love to use that one because, like I mentioned, the way that we and Dr. Dan has curated multiple things into one product makes it so simple to take things. If a younger child or somebody who can't swallow, for instance, is taking the supplement, it's just a great follow-up to say, like, wasn't that so nice to not have to have that struggle in the morning of swallowing or different things that maybe don't taste as good. Having that conversation about the ease of taking the supplements, and then going back to what their why was, right? Making sure you hit that is always so helpful. So maybe you would say something like, you mentioned you were curious about the gut health. I have something that might help. Would you be open to me sending you some more information? That is really good to verbiage for your monthly follow-ups. If they've already tried one thing or in conversation something else has come up, remember what they had mentioned. Think through what might be a really good fit for that or a starting point for them to try, and then ask them if you could get them some more information about that. I love this bottom flow. I just wanted to draw attention to that. It's always about finding a connection piquing their curiosity specific to them, giving them the value of what we have to offer, and then inviting them to try that, to experience it, to learn more. So always thinking through like, how can I connect with this person? How can I make them curious? What's different about what you're taking? Does what you're taking, do you feel a difference with? Do you know where it's sourced? Do you know how well it's absorbed? And then that will also go along with the value. Those are crisscrossing, telling them what makes these different than something they've taken, or maybe they've considered taken or heard other people have taken, and then inviting them to experience 3 for themselves. And then I'm going to encourage you to make a plan. Follow-up is an action. And it's something that we have to be intentional about, especially because this is one where people feel a little resistant to have that follow up and have that follow through. So I really want to encourage you to make a plan and stay consistent. I hear over and over that the most successful people are the most consistent. And so using something like the app is fantastic. The 3 app, if you have not downloaded that, if you have not used that, it's a fantastic way to share tools with people and also follow up with people. I would really encourage you to spend some time going through the training on the app and utilizing the different tools that are within the app. There are things out there called CRMs, which are client relationship managers. So ways that you can collect emails and collect numbers and keep track of conversations and connections you've had with people. Color coding using a form or a sheet, whether that's electronically or on paper, to color code who you've talked to the first time, who you know, who you're thinking of, what tools you've sent them, what your follow-up has been, and dates. That can be really helpful for tracking when we look at those window timeframes. Setting a daily, weekly, monthly goal, setting goals, writing them down, putting a timeline will allow that momentum, that success, that follow through, that consistency to happen so much more easily if you can put a goal to it, a smart goal to it. And then schedule time in your day for the follow-up. So once you know what you want to do, who you want to connect with, how many people that needs to be, schedule time in your week, honor that time, commit to that time, just as if it's a very important appointment with another healthcare provider or something an event that your kid has for school, or even, school drop up and pick up. There's time set aside in our week for very specific, meaningful, intentional things. And I would encourage you to include follow-ups as part of your daily and weekly and monthly routine. Schedule that time in. So I know this time is blocked for follow-ups, and then take action steps. I would encourage you today, choose 3 people that you would love to follow up with. Who are 3 people who you have talked to about 3, you've invited to an event, you've shared a sample with, you've given some sort of information to look over, but you haven't followed through with that. Maybe that's even a Facebook post that you've done or something on social media. You've had a response, you've had a comment to, but you haven't followed up with somebody in relationship to that comment, even onto social media. Choose 3 people to follow up with today. That would be my first encouragement for you. Use one new phrase from this call. Go back, look at different examples that we talked through. Are you open to? Would you mind if? What questions did you have? What stood out to you the most? Did you appreciate the ease of taking one thing versus 8 things that you maybe were taking on a regular basis before? And then track your results. And I would encourage you to share them with your upline. Write them down, think through them, be thoughtful, be intentional. I'm going to challenge you to push yourself just a little bit more than what you initially think. So if you're thinking, maybe I'll follow up with 2 people a week, maybe you want to push that to 5 people a week. And once you feel good about, you've written down your goals, and I would love for you to share them with your upline. Accountability is such a gift. It keeps us going. Momentum, consistency, all of those things are going to move the dial for you. They're going to allow you to share 3 with more and more people, which will allow your team to grow and our global platform to expand. Follow-ups show care. Please hear me when I say that follow-ups do not have to and should not feel icky. You are not bothering people. You're making sure you aren't giving up on them. You've asked them for permission. You've shared something with them. It is on us. It is our role. It's our responsibility to follow up with them and see how else we can be of service. I caution you to be so careful not to prejudge them. Oh, they can't afford this. They don't need this. I don't think this is for them. You will be shocked. Some of the people who you want to dismiss quickly can become some of your greatest teammates. There are people looking for things that you would never know. They're looking for an out to the business they're in. They are desperate for healing and hope. They are craving community and relationship with people who are positive minded, growth mindsets, very encouraging. So please, please be very careful not to prejudge them. Don't decide for them either, like, oh, they're just too busy. They already have their own business. They already have a really good career. They already take good supplements. Please let those go. Let them decide. They get to choose where they're at, if the timing's right, if they have the information they need. That's something else you can ask. What other information can I get you to help make a decision? That's a key thing I would love for you to write down if that's not something that is stuck into your brain. What other information can I get you so that you can make a decision? Again, you're not deciding for them. You're giving them the information. It may or may not be a fit. And I would love to get you the information you need so that you can make an informed choice. We are planting seeds. People will often say yes later. Remember that 80% statistic we talked about sooner. Each conversation, each sample you offer, each video you send, it's just planting those seeds. So when the need comes up, when the timing is right for the right people, they know exactly who to reach out to and what for. So you are planting seeds, you are being intentional, you are caring for them well. And at the same time, you will have people tell you, no, I'm not interested at this time. Be very careful to listen to the verbiage that they use. Not interested at this time. Absolutely, completely respect where you're at. Would it be okay if I follow up with you next month and see if there's any way I can be of service? But I want you to know that rejection is not personal. Marry the process. Be committed to the follow-up process. Be committed to your goals and divorce yourself from the emotion that comes with the outcome, right? This is not about you. This is about the people that we are serving. And so hold strong, hold tight to being consistent, hold strong, hold tight to the process, but let go of the outcome. Okay. Confidence will come from consistency. The more you are playing around with these different phrases, using different words, figuring out different tools that you can share with people. It's so great that we have a whole toolbox of things that we can share for exposures. Everybody is going to relate differently to the information that we have. And so knowing that you can have samples, you can use the app, you can invite to events. We have events globally, online, easily accessible for anybody, using our Shout community or our Global Spark community as a reference point. We have so many things available to meet people where they're at. Please take advantage of those and be consistent. Remember, you are not chasing sales when you do a follow-up. You're offering solutions and building relationships. What person does not want to have options to choose from for solutions of things that they're facing? And remember this, okay? Do not let a future yes slip away just because you didn't follow up. I don't know if I would have gotten the opportunity to experience 3 personally, to take the products, to notice the incredible changes in my energy levels, in my digestive health, in the way I just felt overall throughout the day. If Dr. Alicia and Sarah and other people in my life weren't gently reminding me about what they were using, what they were experiencing, giving me opportunities to learn more. And then I wouldn't know about this gift. I wouldn't have the opportunity to have shared it with the hundreds and hundreds of people that have come alongside of us on our 3 team to have the benefit of what we're doing. So please, please, please don't let a yes slip away because you are nervous to follow through. You have something incredible to share. We have such an incredible, duplicatable, simple platform to utilize. And we are sitting on something that people are praying for, they are begging for, they are searching for. So please, please remember them when you are hesitant yourself about sharing what we have. Blessings to you. I can't wait to hear about how this goes, and go out there, be committed, be consistent, and you are going to do incredible things and change millions of lives.